Hey folks, Dr. J here, the Doctor of Life Insurance here in Hickory, North Carolina, with another special guest that I have with me, Dr. Matt Kirkland, owner, operator of New Directions Chiropractic here in Hickory. Matt's been in the business as a chiropractor for over 2.5 years now, and I've got Matt on here today. He's going to explain about what got him into chiropractor, what made him want to be a chiropractor, and he's going to give us some in-depth details about his what he does.
Yeah, I've actually been a chiropractor for over 5 years, but I just opened my own practice about, like I say, 2.5 years ago. Believe it or not, before I actually got into chiropractic, I wanted to be a dentist, just because I've always wanted to be a doctor. I've just had a heart for people, want to help people, being in healthcare and things like that, you know how difficult it is to find some good doctors. But I wanted to be a doctor because I wanted to help people, because I just got tired of how the healthcare system treats most people, but kind of lost interest in dentistry after a while because it got a little too political and too, without saying too much, just not really my good fit, really.
Right.
So I took a couple of years off trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and kind of came across chiropractic. I had shadowed the chiropractor in my local town, and he took me under his wing, and I just fell in love with it. I mean, I was like, man, the people coming in here, they're leaving excited, they're coming in happy, they're coming in hurting, and they're leaving feeling good. And I was like, you don't see that in any other doctor's office. And
True.
It's just a different environment. And, I like to have fun. I like to clown around and joke, but you know that.
Right.
So I don't want to be miserable most of my life working on, people in pain. So I wanted to do that. So that's kind of what got me into it. And I went down to Marietta, Georgia, and studied chiropractic down there at Life University. I graduated back in 2019. Then I moved up to Indiana for a couple years to work for a couple doctors up there, and worked in their clinic, trying to get some real life experience, I should say, kind of figuring out what I wanted to do and how I practice and things like that. And then about 2021, I moved back home here in Hickory and opened up my own clinic, and here we are 2.5 years later.
It's a good story. Dr. Matt, let me ask you this, folks, as far as needing chiropractic care, what would you tell the folks out there, my patients out there that are listening to us, who would you say that would need chiropractic care?
Everybody and anybody.
Everybody. Right. It's good. That's a good answer, right? Yes, that's good.
Everybody's got teeth. Everybody's got a spine, so you got to take care of it.
If you got that pulse, you need a chiropractic care.
Exactly right. If you're above ground, you need chiropractic.
I mean, I guess if we have our annual physical exams, right? You have that. I mean, why not have a good adjustment?
Well, I tell people, you take care of your car, you take care of your house, but you can replace your car and your house relatively easy. I mean, it might be more expensive, but
True.
you can pretty much take care of that if you need to, but you can't really replace your spine or your body, right?
Right.
At least not easily. There's no thing as a spine transplant. Not yet. Maybe in the future. But for right now, you got one body, you got to take care of it.
What age groups, Dr. Matt, do you see folks coming in and needing your services? Is it for middle age, older, or just even young, I guess?
Yep, there is no age limit. If they're alive, I can work on them.
Right.
I see as young as 2 days old, 1 day old, and I see as old as 98. It just depends on.
Is that right?
Yep.
I think you see a lot of the folks probably from LR.
I do. I've got some LR students, some staff members. Athletes need it even more, because obviously the more you use your body, the more you have to maintain it, and they're under a lot more strain and damage than we probably typically see. But
right. For folks who don't have any kind of issues, Dr. Matt, what would you recommend? Is there a certain every 5, 6 weeks, 8 weeks that you recommend coming in for an adjustment?
Typically in my office, every chiropractor is a little different, but in my office, I usually recommend once every 2 weeks for routine care. Some chiropractors go once a month, and that's okay. That's fine. Some people need that, but for like kids and some elderly, once a month is probably okay, just to make sure they're doing stuff, because they don't really get involved in too much. But I find that if you're using your body pretty regularly, if you're under a lot of stress, once every 2 weeks is usually a pretty good hallmark for a checkup. Now, if I'm doing a treatment plan with a patient or working on a specific issue like neck pain, back pain, something like that,
right.
I usually recommend a care plan, which might consist of a couple times a week for so many weeks, something like that.
Right.
But typical wellness care is once every 2 weeks.
I guess there's things we do on a daily basis that sometimes as we get older, we don't realize that things could be rather stiff, right? Like if you're going to flip a light switch. I remember I did that one time. I did that, and I thought my arm was going to fall off. It hurt.
Did you get electrocuted?
If I did get electrocuted, but I'd probably been better than the pain I had in my arm because it's just an aching pain.
Oh yeah.
And
I've heard all the stories. Oh yeah.
And I guess a lot of folks, they're not bought into the theory that, hey, you can go to this chiropractor and they can do things. You can do things as far as manipulating, doing something to the neck or the joints and provide relief to them.
Yeah. Well, chiropractors try to get to the root cause of the issue. And that's why we differ from a typical healthcare doctor's office. I usually tell patients that, you got 4 choices when you're got something going on with if you have neck pain, whatever, let's go headaches, because that's a common issue. I'd say headaches. If you got a headache going on, you got 4 different choices you can do to get rid of those headaches. You can either take medication, you can either have surgery, you can either get chiropractic, or you can learn to live with it. Those are your 4 choices. And in today's society, people go straight for the drugs and surgery because that's what's typically known to do things. But I find chiropractic, like I said, is the most natural form of healthcare because we try to get to the root of the problem and fix it so it doesn't keep coming back versus just putting a Band-Aid over it with medication, because medication is never intended to heal anything. It just helps your body to get to the point where it can process it. One of the biggest things I laugh at all the time is like people that have high blood pressure, diabetes. My grandmother, she had high blood pressure and diabetes all of her life until she died. And she used to tell, I don't have those issues. I take medication for that. And I'm like, that's such a big lie right there, honestly, because you're taking medication because you're keeping your body from destroying itself, I should say.
Right.
And medication is never going to fix anything. It just covers up the symptoms. And that's what makes us different.
You mentioned something there, Dr. Matt, about headaches. There's a lot of people out there I know that are personally dealing with headaches, and a lot of them it'll be, well, I'm going to take my aspirin, right? Or some of them have severe migraines.
Oh yeah.
I didn't hear about this till a couple of years ago, like you were telling me about how chiropractic care could be a remedy for headaches. Instead of just having to, who wants to deal with it, right? Because if you have a headache, especially a migraine, it just knocks you flat on your back. And but a lot of folks back up, roughly the same age, back in the 80s, right? We were young.
Yeah.
That's what you did, right? You went to a doctor. You took medications. Not a lot of folks are going to say, go see your chiropractor to see what's causing those the chronic headaches.
Yeah.
But that's another thing that a lot of folks don't know out there, that actually chiropractic care could be a good remedy for your chronic.
Yes. Absolutely. No, I see patients with headaches every day, and I know it's an unfortunate thing for somebody to have these debilitating migraines that it can keep you out of work for 2 or 3 days at a time, and and sometimes the medicine doesn't do anything, but I like to kind of sit down and say, well, what's causing it? Like, where are you having it? Because there's 100+ different causes of headaches out there. And I actually find that a lot of headaches are just usually due to simple things: posture, dehydration. 95% of muscle spasms, dehydration. Really? And only about 75%, only 25%, sorry, I had that numbers reversed. Only 25% of the American population are hydrated regularly.
Is that right?
Yeah. 3 out of 4 Americans are constantly dehydrated because you don't drink enough water. It's either the soda, the coffee, the alcohol, the energy drinks.
That just kind of zaps the energy out of you, is that correct?
Yeah, and if you deprive your body from its water source, its energy source, it's going to start wearing out on you.
The well runs dry.
Exactly. Take the oil out of a car and see how far it goes, right?
Not very far at all. It makes perfect sense.
Of course.
But it's one of those deals where when you mention chiropractor, what do people think?
Oh, it's witch doctor, voodoo.
They're just going to crack your back, right?
Oh, yeah, don't work. I hear it stories all the time.
But
some do, and there are some voodoo witch doctor chiropractors out there, I call them, the ones that don't really do much or promise all this stuff. But
right.
Not all doctors are the same. It's like not all health insurance agents are the same, right?
Right, exactly. talking about the stigmas of chiropractic care. Matt, what can you tell the folks out there that are listening to us that may be on the border about do I need to go see Dr. Matt for an adjustment? Should I do that or not? Even though I feel good.
Yeah. Well, like I say, I tell people I never use pain. Never use pain as a motivator. Pain should never be a motivator. It's a great motivator for a lot of people because
Right.
nobody likes pain. But pain is actually a good thing. It's your body's check engine light, your smoke alarm. If your smoke alarm is going off in your house, you can either put the fire out or you can take the batteries out of the smoke alarm. My job is to put the fire out, but most people rather just take the batteries out of the smoke alarm because they don't want to hear the annoying noise. But no, as far as that goes, I tell patients, it's never going to hurt. Just give it a chance. Try it. I guarantee you will feel different. Now, the thing about chiropractic, it's not a one and done thing. Right. Most people are so used to the healthcare systems. You're feeling sick, you go to the doctor, or they look at you for a couple minutes, write you a prescription for whatever, and send you on your way to go home and rest, right? Mm-hmm. And that's not really how we operate as chiropractors. We're trying to let the body do what it's designed to do, which is heal itself. And obviously that takes time, but it's kind of like working out. You've got to do it repetitively to feel the difference. You'll feel different after the first adjustment, I guarantee you, but you won't feel a difference overall unless you stick with it for a little bit. Just like working out. I mean, eating healthy. You can go to the gym, eat a salad, but then, you're not going to lose 10 pounds the next day.
Right.
Because believe me, I would if I could.
How about folks that may have sleeping problems?
Mm-hmm.
I've been told before that a good chiropractor can maybe remedy to that or give you some solutions.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But a lot of people, they don't think that. They think they come to you, I'm hurting, right? Mm-hmm. We talked about that.
Exactly.
Reactive to that. They're not
mm-hmm.
proactive. How can a chiropractor help someone that may have some sleeping issues?
Awesome. Yeah, no. That is usually one of the first signs of improvement that I see with patients is better sleep, because what we're trying to do is kind of give your nervous system a little reset, kind of hit that reset button, because most people, let's face it, they go around in that fight or flight mode, stress, yada, 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 go.
Right.
Then that might be causing for them not to sleep because they can't shut their mind off. They can't get their thoughts to calm down. And then I give them that adjustment to kind of reset their system, and they feel more relaxed. They feel calmer, so they sleep better. Right. Now, obviously, there's other factors, and I do tell patients, well, if you're still having trouble sleeping, well, let's look at other factors, because chiropractic's not a cure for anything. I want to tell you that. But it helps with everything. But I do tell patients that are struggling with sleep, it's like, well, maybe stop watching TV or looking at your phone before you go to bed, because the blue light from your phone actually suppresses melatonin, which is the hormone for sleep. So if you're staring at your phone screen right before you go to sleep, or you sleep with your TV on, that might be a reason why you're having trouble sleeping. But then there's different factors too. So like I said, chiropractic's not an answer for everything, but it definitely can help with everything.
I guess that could be, Matt, if you're dozing off or sleeping, the room's dark, if you'd flip the light on, I mean, there's a good chance you're going to wake up and it may be kind of hard to fall back to sleep, right? Oh, yeah. Because you got the bright lights on.
Exactly.
Outstanding. Matt, what would you tell the folks out there? Why should they come see Dr. Matt? What would be a good selling point for the folks out there that are looking at that and say, you know what, the guy seems like he knows what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. He's a good chiropractor. You're in the community. You're in the chamber. You're out and about. People around here in Hickory, North Carolina, they know Dr. Matt Kirkland because they see you while at ribbon cuttings, networking events. What could you say to them that might flip that switch and think, you know what, I need to go check him out?
Why should they see me personally over other chiropractors, or just in general?
Yeah. Dr. Matt.
Gotcha. Well, no, the big thing about my office is that, we have our slogan, obviously, better health begins here, but I also add a little tagline to that to say, come experience the difference. Because I try to run my office a little bit differently than the typical chiropractic office. Because I don't know if you've been to a chiropractor or seen them, but they kind of turned into like these little urgent cares almost, where you've got 10 people waiting in line to get seen. It's just like a little slaughterhouse. You got people going in and out. I was on the table for a minute and a half. Then he put me on therapy for 20 minutes or something like that. Then I was out the door. I try to be different than that. I try to cater to the patient because my typical appointments are 10 or 15 minutes apart. So that way you're getting 100% of my attention, and I'm focusing on what you need that day. Now, not everybody needs a lot of work. It just depends on what they're coming in for. But I'm making sure that person is heard, and I'm making sure that person leaves feeling better than they did when they came in. And that's one of the reasons, like I say, why I wanted to be a doctor, because I want to give somebody that person that they can go to when they're having a problem, that they know that this doctor will listen to me, or they know that this doctor cares about me. And you won't get that from other doctors that are just churning patients out just to try to make
that
5
money.
to 7 minute window. That's not really going to help anybody. But my goal is to help them, because obviously, if you know anything about chiropractic, you want to make it part of your routine.
Right.
So you're going to keep coming back, just like brushing your teeth. You're going to keep doing it, hopefully.
Right.
And I want to have those patients for their life. And, you can only do that with somebody that you're going to trust and like to come see.
You like building that relationship with people.
Exactly, yeah.
You like building that relationship.
Your chiropractor is probably the only doctor that you see that you have a personal relationship with, I should say. I don't have a personal relationship with my medical doctor, things like, because I see him once a year for a physical, right? You don't know them. That's why it's not really that rapport that you get from them.
They can get to know you and get to know them.
Exactly.
You know things about them, their family when they come in, and it just kind of ties everything together.
Exactly. Most of my patients are friends and family, or they become friends and family because you see them every day or every week, every month.
What's the best way, Dr. Matt, for folks to get a hold of you to schedule an appointment?
Well, there's two ways. You could either call us at our number, and I don't know if the number will be on the screen or not.
It would be,
okay.
Yes.
So you either call us at our number, our office number, and usually if I'm not able to get to the phone, because it's just me, I'm a one-man show right now, so if I'm with a patient, might not be able to get to you, but you can leave us a message. Or the easy way, you can book online. I make it real easy for patients to book an appointment on our website, which is New Directions Chiropractic-NC.com. And there's a little button up there that says schedule appointment. And you just click that, takes you to my online booking site. And it'll give you a couple different time blocks that you can pick. And you pick what service you want, what time you want it, and hit submit. And that's the way to do it.
So patients could do that without even worry about calling the phone and getting a business signal, because you could be with a patient, right?
Exactly.
Very easily.
Well, I know you have some patients that don't want to call, don't want to talk on the phone. They just want to click and make their appointment online. And then you have some patients that don't want to do the technology because they're not that good with it. So they'd much rather hear a person and ask questions. Because I've got patients that call me to ask a few questions, like, do you take insurance? Do you work with kids? Do you do this and that? And before they make the appointment. So we're here to help.
That's good news. And the name of your business is
New Directions Chiropractic.
Right here in Hickory, North Carolina.
Hickory, North Carolina.
Hickory, right off 127.
Right on the highway 127 in Viewmont.
In the what corporate office?
I'm on the third floor in the People's Bank Plaza building in Viewmont, right across the street from Backstreet Starbucks.
Well, Dr. Matt, it's good to know that Hickory has a good, caring, compassionate, and a friend. I think anybody that knows Dr. Matt, I'd probably say more than anything, they don't just know him as a chiropractor, they know him as a friend. And I can say that first and foremost for the times we've talked in the past months, in the past year. You're really a friend to the people here in Hickory, and he's a chiropractor for those that want to use his services, which I highly recommend. He's everything that he's cracked up to be. It's Dr. Matt Kirkland of New Directions Chiropractic here in Hickory, North Carolina. His information is going to be on the screen, folks, for anybody who wants to call Dr. Matt. And it's like he said, you could also go on his website to schedule an appointment, which I think is probably a very easy way to do. I think that's very good. You can just click your time spot, and that's their spot, right, Matt?
That's their spot.
That's no problem. Chiropractic cares like life insurance. It's one of those things it's not mandatory, right, Matt? But
nothing's mandatory but breathing and eating, right?
It's exactly right. But it's one of those things that it goes hand in hand. It's one of those it's those necessary things that are important, right? Having the proper life insurance, having the proper chiropractic care. It's making you well-rounded, right? Taking care of yourself, because let's face it, sooner or later,
futuristic thinking.
It really is.
Well, I tell patients, do something today and this will probably apply to you too. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. That's usually what I say right there.
Preparing for your life insurance,
And that can
retirement.
go for anything.
Really, I
and
mean, it's
everything.
just the things we put off today are things we are forced to do tomorrow, right?
Exactly.
Having routine chiropractic care, having good life insurance, those are things that are proactive things, right? Instead of being reactive.
Exactly.
I'm now hurt up, or I may have came down with something that could make me uninsurable, thinking that maybe the end could be near, is the wrong time to probably get life insurance. And, having a broke back, I mean, I don't think you could do anything with a broke back, Dr. Matt, right? But I mean,
Not much.
right.
But yeah, I tell people, obviously, don't wait until it's too late to take care of something. Take care of it now. It's always easier and cheaper to stay healthy than it is to get healthy. But most people don't understand that until they're obviously on the other end of that.
Exactly.
But yeah, I try to educate my patients to be a little bit more proactive versus, like you say, reactive.
Right. Good points. Folks, Dr. Matt Kirkland, New Directions Chiropractor here in Hickory, North Carolina, with special guest. Matt, thank you for that. I think you've helped out a lot of my patients today understanding the importance of chiropractic care, along with a great chiropractor that folks can reach out to and schedule. And, hey, meet Dr. Matt. If you do, I promise you'll make him part of your family like a lot of us have done here in the Unifour of Hickory, North Carolina. Folks, I'm Dr. Jay Moore, the Doctor of Life Insurance, reminding you that this doctor does make house calls. Let me make one for you today. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast. God bless.